Hey everyone, it's Kim, the Millennials Mom, here to help you master your home and navigate your life. And I don't know about you guys, but it is August and it is hot out. So I wanted to spend a couple of minutes to share some tips with you on how to save some money on your air conditioning bill. Okay, the first way to keep your energy bills down is to maximize your air conditioner's efficiency. And so if you go to energy.gov, what they'll tell you is that the best temperature that you can keep your air conditioning at, and to actually don't go any lower than that, is 78 degrees. For some reason, that's the magic number that makes your bill the lowest. Now, a lot of these apply to your heater as well. So when they talk about your heater, they say don't heat your house up in winter more than 68 degrees because that seems to be the magic number. And when you go to bed at night, they tell you to either, with the air conditioner, like for instance, raise the temperature 7 to 10 degrees at night if you can handle it. And then with your heater, maybe 7 to 10 degrees below that. And then basically what they say is when you wake up, you can adjust the temperatures back up to 68 in the winter or 78 in the summer. The second tip actually has two schools of thought. Some people say it's better to keep your air conditioner at the same temperature whether you're gone or whether you're actually home, and that it maximizes the efficiency on the air conditioner. The other school of thought says, hey, if you're going to leave the house, make it warmer in the house, and then when you get home, cool it back down again. So I did a bunch of research, and basically the answer is it's better if you're going to leave the house for more than 2 hours for you to go ahead and actually raise the heat level in your house, and then when you come home, cool it down. And this is where a thermostat comes in really, really handy. So that's going to be tip 3. The next step is to learn how to program your thermostat, and it's actually not that hard. Usually you can open a flap and there's some instructions in it, but here's the thing that it's normally looking for. It's looking for 4 different blocks of time that you can program in. The first block is when you're going to wake up in the morning and then the time that you actually might be leaving. The second block would be when you're leaving until you're coming home, which is usually like they're assuming it's a work day. When you're coming home from work until you go to bed, and then the final one is when you go to bed until you wake up. And on each segment, you can type in a temperature that you're looking for. So when you get up in the morning, it's not that big. You can probably keep whatever you programmed for the evening. But when you leave for work, if you set the temperature up higher, it won't use as much air conditioning. And then maybe say a half an hour before you know you're going to come home from work, you can actually you can make it turn on and make your house cooler. So when you get home, it's cool, but it hasn't wasted that electricity during the day while you're gone. Same thing when you go to bed. If you're going to go to bed, let's say at 10 o'clock, and then get up at 6 in the morning, you just set it up high, like maybe 85 degrees, whatever's comfortable for you guys. And then that's how the thermostat works, and it does definitely maximize the efficiency. The next tip involves fun with ladders. You need to change out your air filter on a regular basis in your air conditioner. It's the only thing that keeps all the dirt and pollutants that are in your house from going up into the air conditioner and back down into the rest of your rooms. If this thing starts turning like a light brown, you know that you need to change it right away. In order to know what size you need to buy for filter, because every air conditioner is different, you want to look at the side. It'll tell you the dimensions. Mine's a 14 by 25 by 1. And there's also a little arrow that shows you which way goes up. And I don't need to show you this, but all you do is just unscrew the grate, bring it down, take out the old one, pop this one up in, and close the grate again. It's super, super easy, but just make sure you work on this because it will make your air conditioning more efficient. Tip 5 involves the question of whether or not you should shut the air conditioning vent in a room that you're not using. And the answer is no, because it'll mess up the air pressure in the air conditioning system and actually make it less efficient. And it also ends up making these weird hot and cold spots in your house. So the answer is no, don't shut a vent. It's all meant to work together, and you're going to mess up the system if you close it. Next thing you want to do, and this is probably obvious, is to get yourself some curtains that you can put and close during the day when it's hot. And what you want to get are blackout curtains. And I have a sample of a drape right here, and it has this fabric on the back of it, either sewn in, or sometimes you'll have a drape where it's actually sprayed on. And it's a very, very, very tightly woven piece of fabric that will not let the sun shine through. And basically the sun will reflect off of it. So if you get a blackout curtain, you're going to have a lot less heat coming in, and obviously it will save you money on your air conditioning bill. The next tip involves your mini blinds or shutters. Obviously, you want to keep them closed in order to keep the house cooler, but there's a way to keep them closed. So if you just watch carefully, if you turn the blinds down so that they sort of face down from the inside, then what happens is that the sun can actually still come through those slats and beam down onto the floor and actually bring heat in when you didn't intend for it to. What you want to do is you want to flip the blinds so that the inside faces up. And then if you do that, the sun has no choice but to reflect off of those blinds, and therefore you don't get as much heat, and therefore your air conditioning has a chance to be more efficient and you save money. Now, this next tip may surprise and dismay you, but inside your house you should never have a door closed when the air conditioning is running. If you do that, then the air conditioner has to compensate for an imbalance in the airflow, and it actually makes it hard on the air conditioner, thus making it less efficient and more costly. So as much as it's dismaying to have to keep your doors open all the time, it's better if the air conditioning is on to leave it that way. This final tip is from my brother-in-law, Steve. He says if you want to make sure that your air conditioner is operating at good capacity, then what you want to check is the differential. And that basically is the difference between the temperature that's going in through the air filter and the temperature that's actually coming out of one of the cold vents. What you can do is run the temperature for a while so you know that it's actually warmed up and running really well. And then you're going to take a thermometer, and you can use a cooking thermometer if you want, and basically test the temperature of the air that's actually going up into the air filter, and then take the same thermometer and go and check it coming out of one of the cold air vents. And ultimately what you're looking is somewhere between a 10 to 15 degree difference between the two. So there's a hint. Thank you, Steve. One final note for those of you guys who own your own home and have an air conditioning unit on the ground level. Number one, you always want to cover it in the winter so that you don't get snow and rain in it. And number two, always keep a 14-inch clearance all the way around it to make sure it gets maximum airflow coming in and out of it. So those are my tips. If you like this and enjoyed it, I have a subscription button that you can click, and also another video you might like to watch. And I thank you for tuning in. You guys take care.